Hello, friends and foes. These are 10 things TCG Player needs to change as soon as possible. There's a lot of competition in the space now. You got Misprint, Manapool, eBay, and of course the ever-present Shopify, WooCommerce. All of these are compatible with SortSwift for easy syncing of the same inventory across all those platforms. You can set up in Square. You can build your own storefront on SortSwift with SortSwift storefronts. There's a lot of places that you can go instead of TCG Player, and those suit different purposes and different needs. So these are the 10 biggest weaknesses that I have found with TCG Player, both from the seller side and the buyer side, that are making it harder and harder to justify staying on the platform for me as a seller, and even harder to justify buying on the platform when there are other places that I can purchase. So let's start with number one, shipping. I've talked a lot about shipping lately. There's some problems happening with USPS that are making it pretty unreliable to ship anything, but most notably the plain white envelope orders. And since TCG Player is pretty much optimized and pretty much railroads sellers into shipping with plain white envelope, that's a big problem. And they don't have enough protections in place. Their policies are not set up in such a way that sellers are protected in the case of a high USPS failure rate, which we are seeing now. So I have a few ideas of how they could tweak shipping to make it safer for sellers and also a better experience for buyers. First thing I would say, allow sellers to set up their shipping settings with more granular detail. Like, it should not just be set one flat price for shipping things based on the 4 categories. We should be able to set more complex rules for shipping 1 card versus shipping 5 cards versus shipping 30 cards versus shipping 50 cards. We should be able to set more complex rules by not just number of cards, but also by the price point of the individual cards in the order or the total price of the overall order. We should be able to set sophisticated rules around that and price different order sizes, different numbers of cards at different price points for shipping, so that we have more flexibility on when we choose to use tracking and when we do not, and when people can get free shipping and when they can't. Also, like destinations. We should be able to be a little bit more selective with our destinations and be able to price differently for different destinations. At the very least, to price differently for like Alaska and Hawaii. I think it's going to be a while before there's an easy way to work with this new rural shipping restriction that has been rolled out. We'll see what happens with that. But at the very least, we should be able to either turn on or off certain locations or set a separate shipping rate for different destinations. It'd even be cool to be able to do by zone like eBay does, where I can maybe set a different shipping rate for shipping to California versus shipping to Texas. I'm in Texas. That's going to be the cheapest shipping for me. Shipping to Maine is going to be more expensive. Shipping to Alaska is going to be very expensive. I would prefer not to have to charge everybody the same shipping price. I'd prefer to be able to rate that out separately and charge more according to where it's going so that I can control my shipping costs and still ship tracked. Also, I think it would be cool to have an upsell built into it that allows like upgrade to ship it with tracking. And so then if a buyer buys $5 worth of cards and they want to ship it, or they want it shipped to them with tracking, they should have the option to just click the button and say, hey, I want this shipped with tracking. And then I can ship with tracking. Right now you kind of have it with expedited shipping, but I want to be able to still do the regular like ground advantage with the regular 2-day handling time. So there should just be an option to like toggle, I want to ship this tracked and I'm willing to pay for it. And then that would add a shipping fee. So then the base shipping fee still allows the items to display at a good spot in the listings. But then if the buyer wants tracking, they can pay for it. That seems like it would be a pretty easy thing to implement, and it would make a lot of sense both for the buyer and seller side, because one of the biggest complaints is that buyers want people to ship with tracking, and if it's available to pay for them to pay for tracking, then they can get what they want. And then, of course, the big one that always gets mentioned when it comes to shipping with TCG Player is implement some sort of standard envelope system, the way that Shopify has, Etsy has, eBay has. I want to say even Amazon might have some sort of, I don't know for sure though, so I won't say that, but I know for a fact I have used Etsy, Shopify, and eBay printed labels for envelopes that are basically the same price as a stamp and have a little bit of tracking and protection built in. That just seems like a no-brainer. They should be able to make that deal. They should be able to figure out something. They are owned by eBay. There should be a solution there. So that seems pretty obvious. And then I'd say the other thing right now with everything that's going on with USPS, there needs to be either more leniency with delays. So like a policy adjustment that allows maybe 15 business days, which sounds like a lot, but that gives more orders more of a chance, since a lot of the problems is delays, gives more orders more of a chance to arrive within time frame before a dispute is opened up. But those are kind of the main things I would say with shipping. So now, number 2 of the changes, the overall overhauls that TCG Player needs to make. Number 2 is filtering. As a buyer, when I am trying to browse listings, I have a few things in mind. Usually I'm either looking for a specific Pokemon, a specific language, a specific artist, and so it's like I think foreign language cards are cool. I think it would be cool to own some Russian Magic the Gathering cards. But if I filter for Russian Magic the Gathering cards, it pulls up a bunch of stuff that's out of stock. Like, there's no way for me to filter it, and then I can click the don't display stuff that's out of stock button, and it doesn't work. Fix that. Like, that just seems like an obvious thing that you should fix. If you have a button that is supposed to do a thing, you should make it so the button does the thing, or like remove the button, but don't tease me. But yeah, that button should be functional, and I should be able to filter out of stocks out of the listings so that I can easily filter either just overall listings or a specific shop listings for foreign language cards in Magic the Gathering or whatever, and reverse hollows. I want to be able to find reverse hollows, separate out those, and it's hard to find those. Also, I want to be able to filter by artist. I want to be able to pull up every card by Shinji Kanda in a person's store and order all of them. But I have to search Shinji Kanda cards one by one off of a list that I pull off of like Cerebi, and so that's super frustrating. So all of that, I think, would help a lot on the buying side, and of course it would help on the selling side because you'd have a higher sell-through rate because your listings would be more shoppable. This it seems another, again, like a no-brainer. Like, yeah, they should do this. They should improve the shopping experience because it just makes it so easy to offer, literally just offer like reverse hollow filtering on your website and list all your reverse hollows there, and you'll be able to sell them at a higher price with less fees. All because TCG Player won't fix their out of stock button. I guess attached to this, I would say also it would be cool to be able to more easily buy like Chinese and Korean and Spanish and German and Italian and French Pokemon cards. Make that easier. There's starting to be demand, especially in the United States, for Spanish. There's enough Spanish speakers here. Let me filter to Spanish cards instead of people listing them as English and then putting in the notes that they're Spanish. Okay, number 3, the third thing that TCG Player needs to change as soon as possible is a favorite sellers list. They need to add a favorite sellers list. If this function exists, I'm not aware of it, and that means that it needs to be more intuitive and easier to find and use. So, favorite sellers list. I think as a buyer, I want to be able to easily favorite sellers that I have had a good experience with, so that I can easily filter down my list of people that I actually like to shop from the more and more that I use the platform, and I can easily check them first if there's something that I'm looking for. And this would allow sellers to easily get more repeat purchases and so on. And then what I would love to do is combine this with the filtering, where I could do a search and search for Machamp cards, and then set a toggle that said, I don't want to do this in the card optimizer. I don't want the algorithm to make a decision for me. I want to be able to filter and browse my preferred sellers all in one display and see, look at all the Shinji Kondo cards that they have, look at all the Machamp cards that they have, and build packages with them, and be able to filter by that preferred sellers list, so that I can first search people I already know and trust and have purchased from successfully, instead of always having to gamble on someone new when I'm looking for stuff. And then I can more strategically handle my buying, where some stuff, like, I don't really want it unless it comes from a seller I'm already familiar with. It's just, I've had enough bad experiences on the platform at this point that I'm already at the point that I'm like, I don't really want, unless there's just a card that I really, really want and some seller I haven't bought from is the only one that has it. Like, even now, first I'm manually going through my bookmarks in the browser, and I'm like searching, do you have this card? Do you have this card? Do you have this card? I want to be able to do that from the global search and filter down to my preferred sellers. So that seems like a high leverage thing that would help both buyers and sellers. Now, the flip side of that is a disliked sellers list. If this is a feature, I'm not aware of it, once again. So there either needs to be better documentation about it, or if it's not there, they need to add it. So as a buyer, I want to be able to easily mark, if I have a bad experience with a seller, I want to be able to mark that seller, block them or something, where when I do a search in the future, it will never show their cards. And if Card Optimizer runs, it will never show their cards. Again, if this feature is in there, I'm not aware of it, so it needs to be more intuitive. This is something that I would say would be huge. If it is already in there, don't yell at me. Just tell me that it's in there and maybe mention where I can find it instead of just screaming at me in the comments. Number 5, fifth big thing that I would say TCG Player needs to change as soon as possible is allow buyers to easily go to their recent orders and print a receiving list. So basically, the buyer's side, the buyer's version of the packing list. Because so often as a buyer, I have been finding that my sellers are not including the packing slip, or they're including it, but it's so covered up by tape or folded up or destroyed that I can't use it, or they print it on a shipping label where it's too small for me to read and the thermal label doesn't it's not legible. So then I have to go through all of my orders from the last 30 days and try to match the cards that are inside the envelope with cards that are in orders that I haven't closed out yet. And it's just ridiculous. So I would like to be able to just print right after I place the order, ideally, but also I'd either be able to go to my order history and print a receiving list, or right after I complete an order, I'd like an option to come up that allows me to print a receiving list that then I can maybe put in a folder and then check. Anytime I receive an order, I can just go to my actual physical folder on my desk with the orders that I'm anticipating to receive, and I can check that envelope against the orders that are in there, and I can mark it checked. That'd be cool. It wouldn't even have to be something built into the platform, really. Just the ability to print it would allow me then to handle receiving off platform if they don't want to bother building a function that allows me to track that order separately inside the platform. Number 7, I'd say stock and restock notifications. This would be super cool. So I've got a lot of notes here. I think it would be cool to allow buyers to set a limited watch list of items along with a target price, and then receive a notification when their target items reach the target price. So by this I mean, like, it'd be cool to be able to, and it'd be fine if there were limitations on this. Like if at any given time I can have like 20, 50, maybe 100 cards max, like individual cards max, or sealed products or something on a watch list, where I, inside the platform, can mark that I want to be watching this card and I want to be notified in the app or by email when the market price of this card has dropped below a certain threshold. So I want to be able to toggle something that allows me to add this to the watch list, and I want to be able to fill out a field that says what is the price that I want to buy this card at. And I understand that this could be resource intensive on the data side, so that's where it's like having a limitation of 20 things, 50 things, 100 things would be fine for this, because I can only really actively be monitoring so many cards anyway. And yeah, this would be really cool. And it'd be cool to even pair this with my preferred seller list. So if there was like a secondary toggle or something where I could get notifications specifically when one of my preferred sellers has listed a card that is at a qualifying price that is currently on my watch list. So if I have a preferred seller, if Dead King Collection is one of my preferred sellers, and I want the Machamp Break card, that golden horizontal card, and I want to get it for $3, then I want to be able to select two different boxes and one field. I want to be able to say, I am looking to buy this card at $3. I want to be notified when any seller on the platform lists this card for $3. And I want to receive a special notification if one of my preferred sellers lists this card at this price. And I want to be able to also, with the price setting on that, I want to be able to say either I want it at a specific price or that I want it at any price. So then I can customize it where either I'm getting notifications about just the general market price and availability, or if I'm willing to pay any price for something, but I only want to buy it from my preferred seller, I want to be able to put that on my watch list, where I want to watch my preferred seller list for my Machamp Break card at any price, or at a specific price. This would be huge. It would be great for buyers. It'd be essentially similar to the principle of like an abandoned cart email. So TCG Player would get more volume by just sending a notification like, hey, something you want is available, get it while it lasts. You get just inherent scarcity built in that is huge, urgency and scarcity. And it would help sellers to have more rapid sell-through and build stronger relationships with repeat customers, which again would help the sales volume of TCG Player. So TCG Player wins, buyers win, and sellers win. So restock notifications, stock and restock notifications would be huge. It may be tough to pull off, so that's where it's like implementing a cap as well, a max watch list of 100 items. I feel like that's fair compromise. Even less than that, 50 items, 25 items, I feel like that's fair. Now, number 8, the 8th thing that I think TCG Player should add to the platform as soon as possible is promotions. And so right now, the only promotions that TCG Player ever runs are platform level promotions like Mayhem and Black Friday and stuff. I think, similar to just about every other platform out there, TCG Player needs to allow sellers to offer seller level and store level promotional discounts and bundle discounts and stuff like that. Temporary, expiring, coupon codes, stuff like that. Because TCG Player already offers the pro seller site, and because there are a lot of influencers who sell on TCG Player, it seems like an obvious thing for TCG Player to add these custom pricing options and promotions and stuff like that, so that then there would be a large incentive for TCG influencers to drive their audience to their pro seller site where they can take advantage of discount codes and bundle discounts and stuff like that. It just makes a lot of sense, and that would be a great defensive strategy for TCG Player to keep people from leaving and going and building stuff like a Shopify and stuff like that, because that is a tremendous advantage that you end up getting with Shopify or even just eBay, is the ability to do those bundle discounts and stuff like that and optimize package and optimize your average order value by incentivizing larger purchases so that you can drive a higher profit. Huge win that you get access to on other platforms, and it would be a huge win for TCG Player if they implemented it. And ideas are like being able to set really detailed, granular discounts, like everything that maybe this discount applies to all sorcery contested realm inventory in my store, like, and only to that. It doesn't apply to the whole store, only to sorcery items, and it's like a buy 5 get 1 free or something, or it's only to items under a certain price point. So again, like a buy 5 get 1 free bulk cards, and have it also filterable down to like be able to build a bundle discount or a promotional offer where buy 5 get 1 free bulk Pokemon, like exclusively build that and make it available to anybody and everybody. All they have to do is just add the items to their cart, and it will optimize and then allow something to display to signify that that is an option. Even if this was only available on the pro seller site, it would still be a super value add. So if this was not available on the marketplace, I would understand. It should be available on the pro seller site. A lot of these items maybe could be just rolled out to the pro seller site. Maybe they're considering some of this, and that's why they're planning to paywall the pro seller site. But I think it would be even cooler if they rolled out at least some of these for free with the pro seller site, since you're still going to be transacting in their ecosystem. They're still collecting the customer data, they're getting people on their customer list, and they're still drawing people out to their marketplace. Number 9 of things that TCG Player needs to change as soon as possible is mass price improvements. I have stopped using mass price on my TCG Player store, even though I'm still selling on TCG Player, because my buying strategy makes it so that I want to have different floor prices for different rarities and different print types. Like, I want to be able to price showcase foils at a certain floor price, and reverse hollows at a certain floor price, and EX cards at a certain floor price, and super rare Union Arena cards at a certain price. I want to be able to set pretty granular floor pricing based on rarity level, and I want these rules to run automatically. And you only get 15 rules max in mass price, and so you can set just a general price floor, and you don't have the granularity that would be afforded by that. And I just don't think that makes sense for me, and I don't think it's good for even buyers and sellers in the long run, because it means that stuff can't really be priced at how much it's actually worth. And so you have an overabundance of supply of kind of lower velocity stuff, or stuff that is priced a little bit too high, and all set to floor prices largely because of shipping problems. So if they fix the shipping, then a lot of items could be listed closer to the true market price instead of at floor prices. But also it'd be good to be able to set floor prices based on rarity across all the games, so that hollows across every game that I carry, if I carry 7 games, all those hollows have a specific hollow floor price per game, and so on. I don't think I need to over explain this. You need to be able to set more rules, even just an increase in quantity. It doesn't have to be unlimited rules. An increase to, I think, 100 rules should be permitted for pro sellers, and it can maybe only be available, again, I think it's only available if you opt into pro seller. That would be huge. Perhaps this is something that they're planning to do after they roll out a paywall. I can understand that. But yeah, very important. Mass price in its current form certainly is not worth paying for. And if they were to paywall it, I would say sayonara. But mass price where I can set 100 cards or 100 rules that run every day at midnight, that would work. Now, the amount of customization inside the rules needs to be changed too. So you need to be able to set multiple floors that work together inside the same rule so that specifically you can guarantee cards are above your floor price or above the current market price and are above the current lowest listed price. Because sometimes what happens is that you will have mass price matching market or even selling above market, but the lowest listed item is already like way above market. And so then you just are accidentally drawing the price down on a card that already is selling at a higher price point. It just has low availability. That's super frustrating. And then there's not an easy way to defend against that because you can't set multiple floor conditions. And so I would see it as something like multiple conditions that you assign with an and connector inside of the mass price, where it's like item needs to be above a floor price of 20 cents and item needs to be above the lowest listed and item needs to be above market price. Even just having two and then just being able to have a floor, like a floor price and above lowest listed, having both of those active at all times, even that would be better. And then the other modifier where you set your target price is where you could account for making sure you're above market. So you could set your target price to be, you run and set it to 10% above market with a floor that is always above a certain actual flat amount and always above the lowest listing. That would be huge. And those changes could make mass price worth paying for. Like literally, it could make it worth paying for. Sure, it'd be cool if they rolled it out for free, but it would be worth paying for. And it would be worth staying for. Again, like part of the problem here is that like if they don't change these things, it's not just me. Like, yeah, I'm going to leave if they don't change these things. I'm going to leave if they don't start getting along with SortSwift, actually, is the thing. Now, I understand, again, like I said before, SortSwift is fixing that. They're releasing something. So I might end up doing that if their technology works that they release for that. But it'd be even cooler if TCG Player found a way to just play nice with some of these platforms like SortSwift, because that also incentivizes people to stay. And last but not least is better message management. It's crazy. I mean, both for the buyer and the seller, it's pretty hard to go in and like view your messages and keep track of stuff, but mainly on the seller side, there needs to be a separate inbox exclusively. And again, if there is one, I haven't seen it, so it needs to be more intuitive. So don't yell at me. There needs to be an exclusive like buyer and like platform and user messaging box where I can view messages that came from active buyers, and also where people can just message me and ask me questions about the store, because there's situations where I've had really good experiences with sellers, and I'd be interested in like buying some other things from them in the event that they had some, because every store has some stuff that's not listed because they just don't know if it's going to sell. I'd love to be able to pretty easily ask a question like, hey, do you have more of these? Because if you have more and you add them, I'll buy them. So it'd be cool to be able to do that. I know I can kind of already do that, but it'd be cool if they just made it more user-friendly so that conversations like that could happen a little bit more easily between sellers and buyers. Also, I think you need to be able to like filter and search messages, old messages, by what's read and what's unread. Did it come from an active buyer or just like a random inquirer? I think you should be able to search based on like contents of the order. Like, there's just a lot of reasons. There's a lot of ways that customer service is challenging inside of the back end that could be corrected, and it would be better for buyers and sellers, because sellers would get better service, sellers could give better service and buyers would get better service. So the messaging functions need to be fixed. It needs to be more user friendly, filterable, searchable, and user friendly, so that relationships can be built on the platform. And if you can build strong relationships and drive strong profits on the platform, then those are going to be reasons to stay on the platform, instead of taking a risk and testing out a completely different platform, which is what I'm planning to do. Because, like, the founder of Misprint is super cool, super accessible, and makes it clear that the team is actively building solutions to the problems that their users have. So when that is the competition, and Card Trader has an active Discord, SortSwift has an active Discord where I can submit issues that I'm encountering, and then the team is active about responding to those things and building solutions. That's the competition that TCG Player is up against. It's not just eBay, it's these other platforms that are going to come up and possibly steal TCG Player's lunch. So that was 10 things I think TCG Player needs to change as soon as possible if they want to hang in this competition, and they want to keep all their sellers and also keep all their buyers. As the sellers leave the platform, the buyers will too, because the experience is bad on both sides. A couple announcements before my camera dies. The Discord is starting to grow. It's officially rolling now. It's not officially launched. It's still in beta. But if you want to join and help me finish setting up this Discord and getting it really lively, and all the security set up and all the different activities and groups and stuff like that set up, if you want to participate in that, then visit my website, www.getdkc.com. Fill out the email form at the bottom and just say, hey, I want to join the Discord, and then I'll send you the link and you can jump in. Email list giveaways. Like I keep saying, I'm going to launch giveaways once I get 100 email subscribers. So if you want to get on the email list so that you can be notified when giveaways launch, then visit list.getdkc.com and you can opt into the email list there. Now, make sure that you confirm your email. So if you opt into the email list, it's going to send you an automatic email asking you to click a button to confirm that you actually are interested. That is a spam deterrent. It protects me from spam and makes sure that in the future my emails will actually be able to reach you when I have giveaway announcements. Because if I am not protected from spam, then that can impact my email deliverability and give me problems on the back end. So confirm your email after you opt in if you want to be notified about giveaways. And lastly, of course, please, I would highly recommend buying some cardboard from me by visiting my website at www.getdkc.com. Also, on my website, there's a contact form at the bottom. Soon I will start buying bulk again, and so if you want to start a conversation about being able to either sell collections or sell bulk to me at fair prices, let me know. We can start that conversation. Soon I'll be listing official bulk pricing that I buy at on the website, so you can take a look at that. And most importantly, good luck out there. Keep pursuing the things that you're loving. Keep studying cardboard. Keep studying business. Keep doing things that make you better, because when you become better, the world becomes better. Peace.